They walk into the gates every day, and the gates close behind them. No escape, no way out until their shift is over. But the real danger isn't the inmates. It's the job itself. Uniform pressed, badge polished, face unreadable. Behind that poker face, stories they'll never tell you, until now. This isn't the movie version. This is the truth, the secret life of prison guards, and what really happens behind those walls. To the world outside, they're just security staff. Inside, they're referees, negotiators, social workers, fighters, and sometimes prisoners in their own way. Interview with former guard. You never forget the sound, that heavy door slamming behind you. Every time you walk in, you think, what if today's the day I don't walk back out? For new recruits, the first day is a shock. The smell hits you. A mix of bleach, sweat, and something else you can't name. You feel every eye on you, and you learn fast. Here, you're being judged, not just by your boss, but by hundreds of criminals sizing you up. Officially, there's a rule book. In reality, there's another set of rules, and they're not written down. Interview with former guard. First thing they tell you in training is, don't get too close. First thing you learn on the job, you have to get close, if you want to survive. Inmates trade in information, favors, and influence. Guards do too. If you don't learn the unspoken agreements, you'll find yourself in trouble. Fast. The job breaks you down in ways you never expect. It's not just the fights, the threats, the danger. It's the hours, the loneliness, the way it eats at your family. Interview with former guard. I missed birthdays. I missed Christmas. I'd get home at 4 a.m. and my wife would already be leaving for work. After a while, you don't just live in the prison lives in you. Some make it to retirement. Some quit, and some cross the line. It rarely happens all at once. No one wakes up thinking, today I'll risk my badge, my freedom, my life. It starts smaller than that. A favor here, a shortcut there. And before you realize it, you've crossed the line. For some, it's the thrill. For others, it's desperation, money problems, emotional loneliness, or just wanting to be noticed in a place where no one sees you. Interview with former guard. My first week, an inmate asked me for an extra apple from the lunch tray. I thought, what's the harm? 3 months later, I was smuggling cigarettes in my socks. On the outside, the job doesn't pay much. Inside, a single cell phone can sell for $1,500. A pack of cigarettes? $50. One delivery could pay a month's rent. And in here, there's always someone willing to pay. Sometimes the trap isn't money. It's attention. Inmates can be master manipulators, knowing exactly what to say to make a guard feel special. The forbidden romance isn't just a movie cliché. It happens. Interview with guard. She wrote me letters, called me her only friend. Before I knew it, I was risking everything to sneak into her unit after lights out. I thought it was real. I thought she loved me. Turned out she was playing me for protection. The system watches its own. Every favor leaves a trail, and when a guard crosses the line, the walls can close in fast. For some, it ends with a lost job. For others, it ends in prison, on the other side of the bars. Every day starts before you even walk in. The fight begins in your head. You rehearse conversations. You steel your nerves. You remind yourself to keep your face blank, your tone neutral, and your heart locked away. Even on the calmest day, you're never safe. You're outnumbered. The tension is always there, humming in the background. 1 second it's quiet, the next a fire. It explodes and you're in the middle of it. Interview with former guard. It's like being a soldier in a war zone, but the war never ends. You startle at loud noises. You stand with your back to the wall in restaurants. You stop trusting people, even your own family. It's never just a compliment. It's a move in a longer game. Some inmates study guards like chess pieces, figuring out their weaknesses, their habits, their moods. And if they find a crack, they'll use it. Interview with former guard. They knew when my mom died. They read it on my face. The next day, a guy offered me a seat in his cell to talk about it. I almost did. That's how it starts. Long shifts. mandatory overtime, little sleep. You live in survival mode so long you forget what peace feels like. And when the burnout comes, it can take everything with it. Your marriage, your health, your will to keep going. Interview with former guard. I used to have nightmares every night. Not about riots. About being locked in there, alone, and nobody coming for me. The physical scars you can see. The mental ones, those can last a lifetime. Interview with prison counselor. We talk about inmate PTSD all the time, but we don't talk enough about the guards. Some of them leave here more damaged than the people they're guarding. In prison, loyalty is a fragile thing. One day you're part of the team, the next, you're the target. It can start with a rumor, a whisper that you've been too friendly with certain inmates, that you're turning a blind eye during searches, that your name came up in a contraband bust. Interview with former guard. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. But in here, truth doesn't always matter. Once suspicion sticks to you, you're done. It's not just inmates versus guards, it's guard versus guard. Seniority, overtime, promotions, everything is a fight. Step on the wrong toes, and the people you thought had your back might just push you to the edge. Interview with former guard. If a higher-up wants you gone, they'll find a way. Write-ups, shift changes, internal investigations. They make you so miserable you either quit or slip up. Sometimes they set traps. Internal affairs run stings on their own people, watching, recording, waiting for that one mistake. And when the system decides you're guilty, you're not just out of a job, you're on the other side of the bars. Former guards in prison face a special kind of hell. Inmates see you as the enemy. Other guards see you as a traitor. You're stuck in a place where every door closes behind you, and none of them are opening. Interview with former guard. I went from giving orders to begging for protection. I used to think inmates hated me. I learned real quick, some guards hated me more. Most people think corruption in prison starts with the inmates. The truth? Sometimes, it starts with the keys. Former guard speaks. It's a business. We controlled who got what, when, and for how much. Nothing, and I mean nothing, came in unless somebody on payroll allowed it. Contraband isn't random. It's an organized pipeline, from the outside through staff to the hands of inmates who can pay. Sometimes the very people sworn to keep it out are the ones bringing it in. It's rarely direct. Money moves through girlfriends, cousins, fake companies. Goods pass through laundry rooms, kitchen deliveries, maintenance vans. By the time it hits the cell block, it's untraceable. Interview with prison investigator. We've had cell phones ordered on Amazon and delivered to a guard's cousin's house. We've had heroin sewn into officer uniforms before shipping. They think 3 steps ahead, and sometimes they're smarter than the people catching them. Low pay, high stress, constant danger. Then someone offers you, $5,000 to carry a phone the size of a candy bar. For many, the math starts to make sense. Interview with former guard. I told myself it was just once. Easy money. Then it became every month. I was in too deep before I even realized I couldn't stop. When corruption surfaces, the system strikes fast. Entire cell blocks are locked down. Officers are pulled from duty. Friendships evaporate overnight. Everyone's a suspect. And for everyone caught, there's another still walking the tier, hiding in plain sight. These walls don't just hold prisoners. They hold secrets. If you want more stories they'll never put in the headlines, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us as we step deeper into the world most people will never see.